Look who has stopped by. Our friend Daymond John is back here once again, the founder and CEO of the brand FUBU and the award-winning entrepreneur, part of the Emmy award-winning series Shark Tank. Great to see you, sir.
It is great seeing you. That's an interesting clip with Kevin.
Yeah. We figured we'd show you when our friend Mike Del Tufo got, as to use the phrase that Kevin used, Kevin O'Leary completely eviscerated him when we pitched him.
Yeah, on that idea, I would have done the same. Yeah.
Now, when because you're in town shooting new episodes of Shark Tank to be shown on ABC this fall, and my kids, my family, we're watching Shark Tank. It's on pretty much every minute of the day.
40 times,
right?
Yeah, it's on certain channels, 40 times a week on certain channels, and then of course ABC. Yeah,
it's kind of like the new Law and Order. It's on somewhere all the time, right? But do you know something's dead on arrival from jump?
No.
Sometimes.
No, you don't, because they'll come on and maybe the numbers are just crazy. I mean, they're just so good.
Right.
So I mean, I would have never thought Bombas socks. It's just socks, right? So I would have said, oh, another sock company. But it turns out you just have no idea.
So you got to sit it. You got to wait it out.
Sit through it, right? Because it looks great. Then you find out they did $10 million worth of sales, but over 30 years. Then you go, that's not of interest. But then you find out they did $100,000 worth of sales in 5 minutes.
And some of the personal stories it sways you for sure.
100%, right?
Why is that?
Well, as somebody who went through so much crap over the last 5-10 years, and they risked everything and they figured it out finally. Or somebody who just goes, yeah, by the way, I got $1.5 million in the bank. I raised a bunch of money, and this is my first venture, and you find out, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, I mean, and I know things are edited down for television.
Yeah.
How quickly do you have to make a decision? Do you really?
Well, an average pitch is a half an hour long, but I've seen some go 2.5 hours.
A pitch
on
Shark Tank.
A guy named Plate Topper, he would not get off the stage. If you ever look at that episode, there's a chewed up apple on my desk because I got so mad that I went to craft services, in the middle of the pitch, and I got hungry. So there's a chewed up apple on my desk when I came back down the back on set.
Which one was this again?
A guy named Plate Topper.
Okay, did Plate Topper get a deal?
Absolutely not.
2.5 hours. Maybe he was just standing out there.
He was like waterboarding us. I mean, it was just bad.
He was trying to wait you guys out.
Yeah, we just leave.
But I imagine, though, you have to use every ounce of your skill set to take in an offer, do some math, understand what it means for you business-wise. You also might have to slow play it because you don't want any of the other sharks to know you might be interested
slow playing
here,
it.
Right?
You don't know if the other sharks want a piece. You're seeing where you add value. You're saying, well, how am I going to get my money out? If I give you, $100,000 and I'm going to get distribution maybe $5,000 a year. Well, man, when am I going to get my money back? I might as well put it into the market.
Right. And so then you either pounce or you're out.
Yeah.
Is there any regret you've ever had about being out on something?
The only regret I've ever had is not about being out. I thought that I was being slick, and I was going head to head with Lori over this stupid ass sponge called the Scrub Daddy, and I think it was at $200,000, and I said $250, and she goes $275. I said, take it. I just wanted her to pay an extra $75.
Right.
And she did $1.2 billion in this stupid ass sponge. So
that's a regret.
Yeah, because also
sure.
When I walk into grocery stores, it's the Scrub Daddy smiling at me all the time. It's all over the place.
$1.2 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is real stuff, man. I mean, no doubt about it. Ring Camera, I know it was potentially born.
Yeah.
Could have been born on your show. Nobody bid.
Kevin
right?
offered a deal to the guy, Jamie, who ended up becoming a guest shark for Ring Camera. And he didn't take the deal, but his valuation was too high. Jamie came in later as a fellow shark and said it was too high. Mm-hmm. So I think he owes us some money because after we so gently tenderized him, he went out to the market and reduced his ass. Poppy Soda just sold, I believe, for $1.9 billion. That was on the show as well.
Yeah.
And then Bombas Socks is doing rock
Bombas
numbers.
Socks are just I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It really is. You can tell when it's a Bombas sock or when it isn't on your foot.
It's a great sock, and then people care. People want to buy the sock because they know that a pair goes to those in need, and then they want to buy the socks for others to say, hey, I bought it for you, and you're giving too at the same time.
And plus, it's the type of apparel that you need to keep replenishing.
Absolutely.
Because it's a damn sock. I wonder where the hell they go. Is there a specific getting lost ability that a Bombas sock has?
Well, all socks, all socks. That's just the mystery. There's two mysteries in the world. How did a pebble get into my shoe?
Yes.
And where the hell did one of my socks go?
Daymond John here on the Rich Eisen Show. Fantastic. So, which is Is Bombas the one you're most proud of?
Bombas, of course, because not only did it show me how to sell directly to consumers and give at the same time,
yes,
but it's the #1 product in Shark Tank history. So I get to call every I don't care what shark you meet,
yes,
you have to say, Daymond has the #1 brand in Shark Tank history. That's it. Game over.
I feel that way, because Tom Brady went to Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm a University of Michigan guy. That it's a conversation ender. You know what I mean? Like, name me where the greatest, winningest quarterback in the history of the National Football League went to school. Ends the argument.
That's it. I end the argument with every single shark.
And you're recording episodes for this fall right now.
We're recording episodes this fall, and it's funny. 2 nights ago, I was in my room.
Yeah.
It was about 1 a.m. My wife goes, "Who is playing the TV that loud next to us? I'm going to call security." Call security. In the morning, when I leave the hotel room, you know who walks out the next door?
No.
Kevin O'Leary.
Is he blasting his television?
And he goes, "Yo, man, did y'all call security on me last night?" I go downstairs, and security looks at both of us, and goes, "You guys fight even in the hotel? What's wrong with you?" So I think he did it on purpose, just so I couldn't sleep last night.
Just to
night.
Well, I mean, before big games,
to get me off edge.
Some teams are accused of competition somebody to pull a fire alarm to make sure the competition is too tired.
They were banging on my door. I said they should have maced you.
was he watching himself on CNN?
I don't know. I think he said he
CNBC?
fell asleep and he kept the TV. I think he did it on purpose.
I love it. I asked this genuinely. Do you miss Cuban on these sets?
Of course, I love Cuban.
Your first episodes without Cuban?
Yeah,
on the set?
I love Cuban. When he left, when we shot our last episode, last year, a lot of people got really misty. It's been 15, 16 years. I didn't get emotional about it. I was like, I wonder why I'm not getting emotional.
Right.
And then I'm doing a speaking gig probably about a couple of weeks ago. This was actually when his last episode aired. And I said, today's Cuban's last episode. And then I just busted out in tears, right, on stage. And then I said to myself, what the hell's wrong with me? The man is in Dallas. He just made $3.5 billion more dollars. And now I got to buy more crap on Shark Tank because he's not here. Why the hell am I feeling so sad?
Excellent thought process.
Yeah, the man's sitting there with another $3.5 billion going, yeah, go ahead, DJ. So why am I so sad now?
And it's more money out of your pocket to buy stuff.
Exactly, because he used to buy like a drunken sailor.
Who is the shark that you would least, or admit that you would least like to be going for the same bid?
It all depends, because if it's technology or if it's like AI, stuff like that, Robert and, I'm still going to say Marc, when he was on, they're going to know way better.
Okay.
Lori, she's like a Miss Crabtree, but at the end of the day, I think she has 12 of the top 20 best-selling products, consumer packaged goods. She's really good at it.
Yes.
Barbara is more in food and stuff like that. So it all depends on where it's at. If it's clothing, I'm going to kill him.
That's your lane.
I'm going to kill him.
That is your lane. Daymond John here on the Rich Eisen Show. Have you ever wanted to get into maybe a sports team or anything like that?
I've been offered sports teams a lot. I was offered a piece of the Miami, the soccer club with Miami.
Okay.
I've never really been heavily into sports. I wanted to be a baseball player coming up. I'm into UFC and snowboarding and fishing. I didn't understand, sports teams.
Sure.
But now as I see what they're doing with what's the guys who are doing stuff with the company in England, the soccer team in England. They're bringing the attention.
The bronze group. Oh, Wrexham, you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm looking at some of this stuff. If I feel that I can add value from the merch side, I definitely know that it's great community. I remember Marc sitting with me one day, and he said, "Daymond, I've been to 1 million games. I don't even remember half of the game, but I remember hugging a stranger." And celebrating a moment, and I do love the camaraderie it brings, and I think that if I could bring more attention and add value, yes. If I think that I can't, then I'd rather just be a spectator.
So, what would you say right now is the biggest growth sector?
Gaming.
Why?
Gaming leagues are because they have a high viewership, right? They're keeping these kids or adults are locking people into these games for hours at a time, right? You know who's viewing it. It's easy to get sponsorship for these kids to wear something, at that period of time. It can be done at any time, any place, things of that nature. So I like gaming.
For an apparel company?
No,
or just
for
in general?
sports.
For just sports.
For a league.
Okay,
for leagues.
league.
Yeah, my buddy Clinton Sparks is starting to do a lot of that stuff. I'm looking at some of that.
So then what about anybody that walks into your studio in Shark Tank? What would you want that person coming through the door to be in the business, so you'd be interested in, because you think it's such a massive growth sector on that front?
Business?
Yes, sir.
Biohacking. Anything biohacking, health, things that I
You want to live forever.
I want to live forever. I want to live to
fame.
about 120. I want to live forever, but I want to live forever in a healthy manner. And I think that, what one thing COVID did for all of us, it reminded of us all of how human we are. And I think that people today with AI, with looking at big pharma, how they manipulate a lot of information.
Yeah.
I think that today people are starting to realize very simple things they can do to change their life, but it's still the wild, wild west, right? When it comes to biohacking, longevity, wellness, people just don't know what to do. There's a lot of very affordable ways that people are starting to realize they can fight cancer and inflammation and other things. So if you can make it very simple where everyday people can understand it, I think that's a home run.
So somebody walks through those doors on Shark Tank, and they're introduced to you and the sharks, and somebody wants to talk about biohacking or longevity.
Yeah.
They had you at hello.
I'm all in. I want to hear what they've done, what they've been through. Most likely, they have had something that has been traumatizing to them or their family or loved ones. They got tired of all this misinformation out there. They probably created something, and they have their before and after, or that family member, or many people's before and after.
Yes.
So the proof is in the pudding. The evidence is right there.
Well, we saw you last night when we were all having a dinner for our group at the great spot Craig's here in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
You were wearing a Sharkjevity T-shirt last night.
Yeah.
You're wearing another one
I'm
today.
always wearing my Sharkjevity.
Is that what this is about? Is that what Sharkjevity is?
Sharkjevity is products that we put out, that we do collaborations with who we think are the top brands or products in the space.
Okay.
Because I call Sharkjevity, it's longevity.
Yes.
But it's investing in your own body and your own health and your family. Because all the business stuff we talk about, it doesn't matter if you're no longer here. I lost 25 people in the last 12 months of my life. You probably know a couple of them: Matumbo, John Amos, Irv Gotti, Mr. C, Fat Man Scoop, and every single funeral that I went to, I didn't hear about what somebody had. I only heard about how they made somebody feel, and I think that that's important. We don't pay enough attention to it.
All right, I'm going to pull on the Matumbo strand. When did you meet him? How long ago? Did you
I've
meet
known
him?
Matumbo. I knew Matumbo for 30 years probably.
Through FUBU? Through what?
Initially FUBU, hanging out, and then he was a great ambassador of the Starkey Hearing Foundation, which goes and gives the gift of hearing to people. We would go and set up places in Africa, and 300 villagers will come out, and the first time you see a 6-year-old little girl hear her mother's voice, there's not enough tissues, in the room, right? And he was a great ambassador. He would travel the world with us and the foundation and help give the gift of hearing.
And So that's how you would travel with Mutombo? You would go to
I've
see
traveled
this?
with Mutombo, yeah. I went to Nairobi with Mutombo, but we
Wow.
did some stuff in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Of course, I would see him in Atlanta here and there. And, I know you know him. He's probably one of the most loving,
Listen, I met him once briefly,
He was
just
one
real
of the most
quickly
loving
at like
people
an
in the
ESPY
world.
Awards, back in the day or something
Yeah,
like that. And I heard nothing but
amazing things.
as you said, people will remember what you did, not not what you had,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and so I guess before I let you go, what are you doing for longevity? What are you?
I'm doing everything. I'm like a guinea pig of it. But
what do you mean?
I gave up drinking.
Okay.
I had cancer in 2017. I had stage 2 cancer. I didn't even know I had it. So I'm getting my blood checked all the time. But you know what I've been doing lately? I've been doing these 40-hour fasts once a week. That's been going really well.
So I guess you weren't doing that last night when I saw you. That
was
not the 40 hours.
my last meal until tomorrow evening.
So are you shooting Shark Tank today?
I am not shooting today.
All right. So you're not going to do. You don't shoot television on an empty stomach.
I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Would that make you more irritable?
No, it doesn't. You know what? It didn't, but this is my 4th time of doing it. I've been doing it for about a month. I started off with the intermittent fasting. And now I do that because after about 26 hours, your body starts to get rid of all the bad cells and various other things. So I do that. I do cold plunges, red light beds. I have all this stuff in my house. It's like
red
a big
light bed. What is that?
You lay in a bed. It's all red light. It reduces your inflammation.
Doesn't keep you up.
No, it doesn't keep you up at all. Okay. You do a cold plunge in the morning. I do all these sound wave things. You lay on these beds. It pushes the sound wave because a lot of us have a problem with EMF. All these signals coming through us. This is actually, you can get sick from a lot of the EMF, all the energy coming around us.
Oh, and so you feel good?
I feel great.
You look
Stem
great,
cell, everything.
Okay.
I try to do as much as I can. Any water I drink, try not to make sure it has any chlorine in it. So as much spring water as you can. You can put all this stuff through AI, though. It sounds very complicated.
Yeah.
But if you put all your meds and all your vitamins through AI, you take a shot of that and you go, which one of these counter these other ones? Because it's all confusing. It'll lay it all out right there for you.
All right. And this is the way you get on the radar screen of the Shark Group? Is that pretty much
that's how you do it. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And I guess, guys, if you have a biohacking longevity idea, get on Shark Tank and get in front of this man.
I'm in.
And you're not in. You'll listen, right?
On listening
you'll be
for sure.
Listening
No, I'll crap on 9 out of 10 of them. But
what if you eat nothing but watermelon for a week?
that's what he did last week.
yeah, it's a watermelon diet.
It was good. Lost 7 pounds.
Absolutely,
It was
it's great.
awesome.
It's just putting all fluids through you. Yeah. Smoothies are. It depends if you eat the whole, watermelon, right? Because you would think that a smoothie is great, right? But what's happening is, can you eat 3 apples for breakfast?
That's your question.
It'll be a full breakfast, right?
Yeah, right.
But if you do a smoothie of it and you just have the sugar, that's the worst thing you can ever do. So the watermelon is you're eating all the fiber as well, just like you're eating the apples, and that's pushing everything through your body. So a lot of us, the worst thing you can ever do is just, blend it down and just take out the sugar. That's the worst possible thing you could do. But if you eat the watermelon the way you're eating it, absolutely the best thing you could do.
Well, he's through it now. How much have you put back on in the
I
last
would
24
probably
hours?
say 6 out of the 7
Okay, there
pounds.
you go. Got to work on this, man. You got to work on it.
Daymond, can I ask a quick question?
Go for it.
When it comes to Shark Tank, what percentage of time would you say that someone has a product? You're kind of 50-50 on the product, but because there's so many great stories that these people have, that the stories touched you, that you went ahead and just said, you know what, I'm going to ride with these people, even though I'm kind of so-so.
That's a great question. Probably 1 out of 5 of those people, I will say, I'll invest in it just because no matter what, we're going to figure it out. If I like you, this business could work out or not, but we're going to do another business together.
Okay.
Now, and it all depends on the money, right? If
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
asking for an absorbent amount of money, they think money's going to solve it. Money kind of highlights your weaknesses too. If you have a weak advertising campaign, buying billboards and TV and Google, not going to increase the conversion of your campaign, right? But I want to see them do what I wrote a book on it, The Power of Broke. Figure it out. And I'm willing to figure it out with you.
That's what's up.
New York Times bestselling author and also the founder of the Shark Group and the CEO and founder of the brand Fubu, pardon me. And Shark Tank returns to ABC this fall. Whatever you do, keep the television down if you're staying in the hotel room next to Daymond John and his wife, okay? Because by the way, I would have called security too. Good job out of you. Good job out of you. Kevin O'Leary, keep your television down, man. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.